In her very first appearance on a TV match, Jennifer Barretta looks to make a statement tonight. She's not just a pretty face on the WPBA tour, but the road to the finals will be a tough one. She's up against the #1 ranked player in the world, Corr, who's used to the TV lights, and most of all, she's used to winning. What will happen in this great quarterfinal matchup? Find out next. Welcome everybody to Hollywood, Florida, and the fantastic Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Inside, here we are, quarterfinal action between Jennifer Barretta and Corr in the WPBA Qtr Florida Classic. We're glad you're with us here inside the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Mitch Lawrence and the striking Viking Ava Lawrence. Rock and roll is the name of the game here in Florida. We've got two terrific players, a classic David and Goliath matchup today.
Absolutely. You have the seasoned veteran in Corr, who's trying to retain her #1 ranking. And then Jennifer Barretta, who's been coming on really strong, and we knew we would see her in these TV matches real soon. And here she is at her first attempt at a classic title.
Well, we had 64 players that started the week here in Florida. We are down to the final 8. That's what happens in quarterfinal matchups. And here's the look. The winner of this match will meet the winner of the Melissa Herndon and Julie Kelly quarterfinal match. Our other quarterfinals, Jeanette Lee and Dawn Hopkins and Jeannie Seaver and the Duchess of Doom, #2 ranked Allison Fisher here in Florida. Here we are with the opening leg. Jennifer Barretta on the left, Corr on the right. An all-important opening lag. Ava will determine many things, who gets the break first and possibly later on in the match.
A little bit nervous?
Especially in this alternate break format, very important to get that first break.
Let's take a look at our rules of the game. This will be a race to 7 to move into the semifinals. It will be alternating breaks. There's a 30-second shot clock on the players with 1 extension per rack, and it will be cue ball fouls only. And here is Jennifer Barretta, her first time playing on national television, ranked 18th in the world, and she is definitely someone to watch. Ava mentioned it at the beginning of the show. Born in Norristown, Pennsylvania, now living in New York City. 5 years, that's all she's been playing. This is a very focused and determined young woman, Ava.
You know what? She set her goals on this tour a while back, a couple of years ago, and the most determined player I've ever seen. She practices as hard or harder than anybody out there right now, and she wants this really, really badly. That was a great break by Jennifer. The table is wide open, as you can see. She has a clear shot at the 1 ball right there. The 2 is out in the center of the table. She can just hit a stop shot right here for the 2 ball. 3 is open, and there are no major disasters. She has to look a little bit for the 6 ball right here. See how the 6 ball is blocked by the 8 towards the corner pocket, so that is something she's going to have to look into. Right now, she's just concerned about making the 2, the 3, the 4, of course. Whoa. And that was a big miss by her right off the bat.
I was going to say before, this is what you want if you're Jennifer, a good break chance to stay at the table, but she gives that right up to the #1 ranked player in the world, Corr, and she knows as well as anybody that is not something you want to do.
I think that's one of those routine things. Coming on first, you want almost too much. You're trying to find that in between trying too hard and being really relaxed and almost a little too relaxed. She looked like she just stepped up and kind of hit it that time.
You see it originally from Ballymoney in Northern Ireland, Feasterville, Pennsylvania, her home now outside of Philadelphia. Of course, as all these great pros do, travels the world much of the time, but that is her home base.
And Corr was on the wrong side of that 3 ball to get over for the 4, and therefore ended up, the cue ball went right into the 9, and here she's forced to play safety. No disaster at this point. She can shoot the cue ball into the 4, having the cue ball come back behind these blockers, sending the 4 ball down to the other side of the table. Oh, whoa, way too soft. Way too soft, and you can see there she's not too happy with that. She left a wide open shot on the 4 ball. However, the 6 is kind of a mess down there, Mitch, so it's a little cat and mouse here. Nobody looks really comfortable at the table yet, and this is pretty common, the first rack out.
We kind of half expected it from Jennifer, who, even though she's very focused, normally As I said, her first TV match, so sometimes nerves get in there at the beginning. Karen, we expect a little more out of. Good shot there by Jennifer.
Yeah, she wanted it to come up a little bit more, maybe right here. Easy shot. If she would have, then she could hit the 6 out of there, put the cue ball down here. And now it's difficult to see what she's going to do here. She might be able to just still pull that cue ball back behind the 9. No, she's just going to go ahead and lag the 6 down to the other side. Very smart shot.
Crowd appreciates it. This is somebody who's been working so hard on her game. All the players do. But Jennifer, the more you talk to her, the more you get a sense of the kind of work she's been putting in. And in 5 years, she's come a long way. Let's see what Karen can do at the table now. Somebody trying to get on the board here in quarterfinal action in Florida. And a safety right back at you. And if that rolls...
It stopped. Looked like it stopped just in time before it got to that side pocket. Jennifer's going to take a closer look at it to see if there's any way to slide that 6 ball into the side. But it looks awfully tight. Well done. Good safety. She wants this to almost freeze on the rail just like that. If the 6 ball comes out too far, Karen would have had an easy shot getting the cue ball after hit coming over here behind the 8 ball. Now, Karen has a lot of work here, Mitch. It's like I said, cat and mouse right off the bat. Nobody looks real comfortable, but I think this is a very important game, especially for Jennifer, who it was her break. She's the one who started out. She made the first mistake when she had a wide open table, so this could really have a lot to do with how confident either player is going to be from here on out.
Too firm, look at this. This is what Karen wanted, and Jennifer's going to jump out of that chair.
Christmas for Jennifer right here. Nice stop shot on the 6. The 7's right there, playing the 7 here. 8 ball corner pocket. This is fantastic opportunity for Jennifer, and I think one she did not expect after making a mistake that early in the match.
Just leaves it right there for the 7, and as she walks around, I want to quickly mention this fantastic playing equipment. You're looking at Jennifer getting ready to get on the 7. Beautiful Brunswick Billiard Manhattan table. There it is. Centennial balls on the big break rack, also by Brunswick. Simonis 860 cloth. Best equipment for the best players in the world. And I like the way you said that, Ava, before. Christmas present for Jennifer Barretta, because you absolutely did not expect that from Karen Corr. But Jennifer has fought her way through this week. I mentioned earlier that 64 players start every event. And you have no idea how tough it is to get through this WPBA field now. So many fantastic players. We are down to 8. And it's been a slugfest up until this point. I don't expect anything to change in quarterfinal action.
Definitely not. And here, this is interesting. She's really taken her time here. This is why she has been so strong. Look out, not in the side pocket. Okay, look at the position she ended up there. She had a little bit of the wrong angle there, and I think she got the little unwanted right spin on the cue ball. That's all I can figure. She wanted to hit the cue ball, go down, and come back up again, and now she has a severe cut shot on this 9. Her only positive thing here is that the 9 ball is so close to the rail. If it's frozen to the rail, it's an easier cut shot than it's just off. Oh, how did she hit him? How about that
shot? You see a big-time smile on Jennifer Barretta's face. There's the reason. 1-0 over Karen Corr.
The Qtech Q's Florida Classic is brought to you by Brunswick Billiard. Since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world. By Qtech Q's, serious cues for serious players. And by the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Closed captioning provided by Ozone Billiards, your online source for billiard supplies.
into rack 3 here in the quarterfinals. We'll show you what happened in rack 2. A good break by Corr, down 1-0 to Jennifer Barretta. And as Jennifer can only sit and watch, Corr, the Irish invader, moving through the second rack with a break and run out using the bridge. Very comfortable. There it is, that 9 to tie us up at 1 apiece going into rack 3. There she is, Jennifer Barretta, making her first TV appearance today, but she has spent plenty of time making magazine appearances lately.
Hi, my name's Jennifer Barretta. Let's bring on the questions. Why does that always come out? More than 2. It was more like 6 on a hard piece of slate. They did a thing on Jeanette Lee in the room that I played in. At the end, she called them over and she said, you know, this is my friend Jen. She's coming up through the ranks. I think she's really going to do well. And you should do something on her. And I gave them my card, and next thing you know, they called, and I was like, wow. Mom loved it. She thought it was great. She wanted me to get her a print of the last picture in the spread. I just trusted everything. They said, look, it's in our best interest to make you look good for this magazine. So I said, all right, that makes a lot of sense, and I just put it in their hands, and I think it came out great. I really love it.
Jennifer Barretta back to the table. We are tied at 1 in rack 3 here in Hollywood, Florida. It's the Qtr Florida Classic presented by the American Pool Players Association at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Mitch Lawrence and Ava Lawrence. Powerful break, but that cue ball moving down table, Ava.
Well, it almost ended up perfect. Of 1 ball, wide open, corner pocket. Here's the 2. It's blocked a little bit by the 7, but she shouldn't have any problems getting over to this side of the table to be able to shoot the 2 ball in the corner. So a really strong break by Jennifer there.
2 balls on the break. Jennifer with a terrific run so far to the quarterfinals, defeating Val Finney of Scotland, Tracy Hines, then losing to Melissa Herndon, the 11th ranked player in the world, getting thrown over to the loser's side, where she defeated number 7 ranked Gerda Hofstetter, former world and national champion, and former U.S. Open champion Helena Tornfeld. So what a way for Jennifer to come back and say, I want to make it to TV in the quarterfinals. We'll explain a little bit about this format as we go along. But I think she proved to herself and everyone else, Ava, what kind of player she is by beating Gerda and Helena back to back to get here.
This is the strongest I've seen her play. She is so deliberate. She does play a little bit on the slow side. She's very deliberate, does not leave anything to chance. She takes her time when she's over the ball, and therefore makes very few mistakes on top of it. And as I say that, can it get by that 6?
I think it did.
She's measuring this, taking a look at this. If there's very difficult to see if she can make this 4 ball, and if she can, what kind of angle. It looks like she's going for the jump cue. She's going to have to jump over. She can see about half of what she wants to see, the very edge of the 4, but not enough to make it.
And as Karen looks on, that is too bad. That was so close to clearing right there, but you get a good angle as Jennifer gets up on top of that Manhattan table. And these are the kind of shots that you've got to come with. She's trying to find a way to get in position to shoot it.
Well, Jennifer's not very tall, and I think she wishes she could have bought a couple of extra inches there to get up over that ball, but instead she's going to have to kick at it. She just can't get high enough to be able to hit down on the cue ball enough to get it up. So she's going to hit this with some left, trying to hit full ball on the 4 ball, sending that to the other side of the table and keeping the cue ball up there on that far side of the end rail. Now, she hit a little bit too thin. She wanted to hit the other side of the 4, and instead she's left Karen a great opportunity here to take the lead in this match.
And that's the kind of small error, just getting a little bit out of position, that can lead to this. And again, you're playing the #1 player in the world. These are not the mistakes you want to make. Not good to make them against anybody, but certainly against Corr, who usually jumps on this and takes advantage in a big-time way. We'll see if she can do that here.
Karen is off to the races. She got this 6 ball, passes straight by the 8. Draw it back a little bit for the 7, and she's in good shape.
And you know, if you're Jennifer, especially with a good break, making a couple balls on the break, and then having a nice table, you want to take advantage of that. It's not like just a tough grind it out. Grind it out.
That's true. That's true. That's a great point, because she got away with it that first rack. She made a mistake early when she had a perfect opportunity to take charge. She didn't, and Karen gave it back to her. But playing a player like Karen, that's not going to happen that often. You know, that's one of those Christmas comes once a year kind of things, where you can't count on Karen making those kind of mistakes too often in one match.
Karen Corr with a couple of very big wins herself. Stephanie Bach, Ming Ing, then losing to Elena Tornfeld, going over to the loser side and coming back and beating the fast rising star Kelly Fisher in an unbelievably tough match, 9-8. And then 14th ranked Sarah Ellerby, 9-0 to get to the TV quarterfinals. And was that a statement by Karen Corr, if ever there was one? Sarah, another one of the good young players on the WPBA Classic Tour, and was never in that match against Karen. Just smothered her, 9-0. This 9 ball to take a 1-rack lead. And as we said, those are the kind of mistakes that you do not want to make if you're Jennifer Barretta. Karen Corr up by a rack in Hollywood, Florida. Jennifer Barretta at the table, trying to make contact, does not. Failing to hit the 2, ball in hand for Karen Corr, and as she moved through this rack, all of a sudden on the 8, that miss. Uncharacteristic miss, I might add. Jennifer Barretta cleans it up. Here we are, 2 apiece in Florida. Jennifer Barretta, rack number 5 with a big break in rack 4. to get back into this match. Instead of being down 3-1, we are tied in this race to 7 to see who moves into the semifinals, and another powerful break by Jennifer Barretta.
And she is really breaking the balls perfectly. 2 ball right here, 3 is open, 4 is open. This is great opportunity again for Jennifer. And even though Jennifer is not a fast player, she's very slow, very deliberate. When she gets going and she gets a rhythm going, which she has the opportunity here now, that the fact that she's making balls on the break, she's a very strong player. She's underestimated, I think, by many still on this tour because she hasn't really proven herself yet. So it's not like players are shaking in their boots because they're playing Jennifer. But I tell you what, the last couple of tournaments, she's really gotten to that point where players like Karen is saying to themselves, this girl can play.
Well, I think a huge statement this year, and her biggest moment, she says, so far. See if she can get in good position there, and I think she'll be okay. A little too close to the 6 there, Ava.
Yeah, she is definitely too close to the 6, especially considering that the 6 ball will not pass by the 7 in this pocket where she would prefer to make it. So here she definitely did not want to have to jack up here. She wanted to have a much better opportunity to play position for the 6. She's just going to tap this in, Mitch, and see about playing the 6 either in the corner or make a combo on the 8 ball. Oh. She banked that one in, I think.
Now does the 6 slide by the 8 there?
I don't think so. I think she's looking at either a combination on this 8 ball on the side or going all the way down. I would go all the way down here in the corner pocket with it. When you're coming in from that angle, new cloth, it's going to slide just a hair, and it's a much bigger pocket than trying to play a combination here. Definitely go for the side the corner pocket.
And that is a really, really solid stroke. A player who's getting mentally tougher is Jennifer Barretta. I was going to say, Ava, when you were talking about players taking her for granted and underestimating her, at the Canadian Classic this year, I think she really made the big statement. She got a touring pro status, finished 5th in that event, and beat 3 of the top 10 players in the world to get to 5th place. If that's not saying to the WPBA Classic Tour, I'm here.
Absolutely.
And I am capable. It might be one thing if you get a little lucky and beat a player, but when you beat 3 of the top 10 in the world, you're saying something.
That's a great point. And when you start doing it a little bit more often, now she's back again in the top 8, and I think that's, it takes a lot to rattle someone like Karen, someone like Allison Fisher right now, but her doing this again, I think she is definitely putting everybody on notice that she is here, and really just coming with the shot she's coming with in this rack is proving a lot. But you know what? I am playing Karen. It's my first time here on TV, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm really in stroke right now and playing great pool. So she's just bearing down, doing her thing.
And a good finish to a very, very good rack by Jennifer Barretta. She took 2 in a row together. Now we're carrying 4 by a rack here in Florida.
And here is where we are, Hollywood, Florida, the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And what a phenomenal week it has been here. This is one of the most amazing places you will find. A Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. If you love music, you love entertainment, this is where you want to be. Moving into rack 7, Jennifer Barretta leading 4-2. Want to show you how we got here. Rack 6, Karen Corr at the table. And once again, giving Jennifer Barretta a chance. Wide open table. There you see the 3 and this 9, a very focused Jennifer Barretta now. That 9 ball for 3 racks in a row and a 4-2 lead in Florida. You are looking at tournament director Steve Tipton and 2 of the great official products of the Classic Tour, the Big Break rack and Centennial balls, both by Brunswick Billiards. 18th ranked Jennifer Barretta, originally from Norristown, Pennsylvania, now living in New York City, New York. And she's starting to put on a little bit of a show here against the #1 ranked player in the world, Karen Corr. And that 1 goes into the side pocket. Will she have a shot on the 2, Ava?
You can see the 2 balls right here. She does have a shot at the 2, but it's a pretty severe cut into the corner pocket. And with a 3 ball being stuck here between the 7 and the 9, she doesn't have much to gain going offensively here. Instead, just go ahead and use those balls as blockers. Bank the 2 balls straight back towards where she is right now and hide the cue ball behind these balls. The 7, the 9, the 4. Just like that. That's all she needed to do. Oh, she got a little short. No, she didn't quite get there. That was a huge opportunity blown to really, really continue to put this pressure on Karen. Instead, Karen now has an opportunity to take control of this rack.
And that's a good point. These are little things during the course of a match that, oh, she just hits the point now. Let's see what's going to happen with the cue ball. And that is not what Karen wanted either. So both players not really able to bury the other one.
It looked like Karen was going to completely snooker her, and instead she's got an opportunity. If she can pull this 2 ball off, the 3-9 is lurking. And she is as steady as they can come. Unbelievable. Look at this 3-9 combo right here.
This would be big. This would be for 5-2 in a race to 7. Jennifer Barretta has already accomplished what her goal was at the beginning of 2004. She said she is a very, very goal-oriented human. At the beginning of 2004, her goal was to get into the top 16 players in the world. She's currently ranked 18th coming into the Florida Classic. And by getting into the quarterfinals, she will improve enough to get into the top 16. But she does not want to stop now. She told me now that she's here, there's a lot more work to do. She's checking this out pretty good, Ava.
Well, it's a tough angle because the balls are so close together. It's tough to judge just how thin to hit this 9 ball. But she's going for it right here. And look at this shot right there. That's what she needed. 5 games to 2. How's she doing?
And a good call by you. She was, see, this is where when it's so small, the difference between making a good safety and not. And Jennifer Barretta, the beneficiary of all of that. And as she goes to the seat, you can tell people in this room buzzing. This is a really, really good play. Ava called it. That 3-9 lined up. You still have to take advantage. And right now, Karen Corr must be the one reeling a little bit. Jennifer Barretta is off to a good start today, just continuing what has been a very solid year.
I've had 3 top 10 finishes, which, you know, I'm really proud of. It's only my 2nd year. I've had a 5th, a 7th, and a 9th.
Karen Corr at the table, and she needs to get some work done. Down 2-5 to Jennifer Barretta here in Hollywood, Florida. We're at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Mitch Lawrence and Ava Lawrence.
It doesn't even look like she was into that break. She did not put the same power she has been putting into the break. I think she's a little rattled by the last couple of games that Jennifer's taken advantage of, and she looks a little bit uncomfortable right now compared to the regular focused eyes that we see from Karen. So we'll see what can happen here. Open table for Jennifer. All she has to do is make this come down to about the same area for the 2-8 combination into the corner pocket. And other than that, Mitch, the table is relatively open right now. She just has to have a nice touch moving the cue ball around, but there are no major problems on this table.
You'll see there on the bottom of your screen some of the other terrific top finishers this week in Florida, brought to you by the American Pool Players Association.
Well, she needs to hit this softly, Mitch, because too hard and she's not going to get a shot on the 2. So aiming this into the 8 is part of the job, but also hitting it with the correct speed to leave herself a shot. And boy, she's just playing picture perfect pool right now.
So what's interesting, Ava, is that between the two players, we're seeing Karen Corr, the #1 ranked player in the world, who was up 2-1 early in this match after 3 racks, who now finds herself down 5-2, and it seems like Karen is the one who's not quite been there, and Jennifer Barretta, ranked 18th in the world, is the one who may be feeling like this is my time. Because how big will it be on TV as that cue ball sneaks by? How big will it be on TV in a quarterfinal matchup for Jennifer Barretta to say, I'm taking care of Karen Corr?
Yeah, it's not like she's on her way, or at least has a good opportunity to win her first match on TV, but to do it against the #1 player in the world, that's pretty spectacular and possibly unheard of. We'll see here if she's got a very thin cut on this 4. She didn't want to have, on the 3 ball, she didn't want to have this much of an angle on this 3. But she's going to go ahead and try to spin it with a lot of right. And the other thing she can do is just go straight across into this area right here and play the 4 ball from up there. Instead of taking any chances with the 7 and the 9, I would think she's just going to go ahead and make sure to make the 3 instead of flirting with danger. But the way she's cueing it, low right, she's going for it, trying to draw it back to the other side of the table. We'll see if she can pull it off here.
Wow.
All right, look out. Oh, she got away with it. She hit the 5 ball. Got away with getting an open shot at this 4, but look what happened to the 5 ball. It tied up with the 7, and now she created a problem for herself. That's the 5 ball passes by the 7, she's fine. If not, she's forced to break them open or get creative. We'll see if she can hit this with some right spin and break the 5 and the 7.
Boy, I'll tell you what. I am
How good is
so
that?
just watching somebody who's really coming into her own right now, because these are shots that under pressure are so difficult to make. And when you look at her face, Ava, learned the basics of the game from Tony Robles, the current BCA Open 9-ball champion in New York, works with Stu Matana, very, very talented amateur player, and Jose Garcia, who's one of the great men's players. She told me before, along with them and her husband Rich, for mental support, she's put together a team that is giving her the confidence to play these kinds of matches.
This is all business for Jennifer. As you can see, she is as steady and confident as if she were the #1 player. She were Goliath, and Karen was David. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see how steady she is. She really believes in herself, and it's other than the first couple of racks, she has really looked like this is her match.
And you know what I'm liking even more? You mentioned before that she's normally a deliberate and slow kind of player. In this rack, because of the shot clock also, you know, you and I talked earlier, we wondered if the shot clock was really going to affect her because she is more deliberate, but she's in a rhythm now that is a little bit quicker, and she's, to me, unafraid. It's not like it's something that's, I have to play
I think it's going to
rhythm.
serve her well, too. Picking up her game just a hair is really going to do wonders for Jennifer's game overall. She's still going to be deliberate, a little bit on the slow side, that's fine, but this rhythm she has right now is flawless.
And this for 5 consecutive racks and to get on the hill for Jennifer Barretta. Bingo. And how about it? Jennifer Barretta putting on a show here in Hollywood, Florida, 1 rack away from the semifinals. into rack 11 here in the quarterfinal matchup. When we left, it was 6-2 Jennifer Barretta on the hill. And lo and behold, here we are at 6-4. Here's how we got here in rack 9. That miss on the 7 by Jennifer. That miss on the 7 by Karen. This miss on the 7 by Jennifer, and things starting to tighten up for Jennifer Barretta. Karen Corr took care of it finally, got it to 6-3, and here's rack number 10. Karen trying to go down table with the 8 and missing it. And Jennifer with a chance to wrap up the match. A bit of an awkward stroke. You saw her turn around, something distracted her behind her. And lo and behold, as I said, 6-4 now, Karen Corr back into it going into rack 11. Couple of chances to end this match, and Karen Corr has gotten the last 2 racks and is now definitely back into it. And if you're Jennifer Barretta, nothing on the break there, and it's kind of slipping away a little bit, Ava, now.
About the best opportunity Karen has had in a while, right off the break, to be able to run the table. So we'll see if she can take advantage here of a weak break by Jennifer.
Rattles a little bit, but goes, and you kind of sense, I don't know, I'm kind of sensing that Karen is obviously a lot more in this match than she was a couple of racks ago, but there's just a little bit different attitude at the table right now, and I think she feels like she can put some pressure on Jennifer. Jennifer has showed a little bit of a chink in the armor that she had throughout this match.
Absolutely.
We thought we might see it earlier from Jennifer, but Karen now the one who wants to apply the pressure and not let Jennifer back into it on her end.
You bet. And here, Karen is faced with a good opportunity. This is Karen's concern right here. 3 balls obviously open. 4's in the center of the table. She can come up for the 4. 5, the 6 is going to be the trickiest shot for Karen that's left on the table. Getting position on the 6 on the quote-unquote wrong side of the table. She would like to be able to just shoot the 6 ball in here. Instead, she has to play position to get the cue ball up in this area to be able to play the 6 in the opposite corner pocket. And she is looking to play the 4 and the 5 on the correct side so she can easily get down to the 6. She's going to stop it right there with a little bit of low right. Just make the 5 ball, spin the cue ball, and come down into this area right here.
Pretty amazing how things can change in an instant. Jennifer Barretta with 5 racks in a row to get to the hill and seemingly on her way to a really easy victory over the #1 player in the world. See that cue ball stops. She's okay.
Yeah, I think she misjudged the rail by just a hair. She wanted the cue ball up a little bit farther here so she could just make it and draw it up in this area. Now instead, she's got a thinner cut she wanted on the 6 ball. And she's either going to have to baby this 6, which makes it tough and uncomfortable to shoot it, or she's going to have to go across and back over again and really put a stroke on it. We'll see which one she chooses.
You can see her eyes darting around. That's a beautiful touch right there.
What a pro she is. Just really not giving up at all. And forget about giving up. She looks like she is the one in control of this match, even though she's trailing 6 games to 4.
She would have the break in rack 12. Should she win this and get it to 6-5, and it's a whole different ballgame. And like we said, even though it's a race to 7, a short race, any of these players capable, if given the chance, and especially Karen Corr, to turn something around, seemingly on the precipice of going home from Hollywood, Florida. Karen Corr now letting Jennifer Barretta know why she is ranked #1 in the world. You bet. Well, now 3 racks in a row for Karen Corr. This is the play on the WPBA Classic Qtr. Stick around.
the great places to visit, the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. We have just enjoyed the heck out of it all week. Everybody associated with the Qt's Florida Classic, presented by the American Pool Players Association. This is quarterfinal action. What seemed like a runaway Jennifer Barretta victory has turned into a dogfight here between Corr, the #1 ranked player in the world, who refuses to go away.
And tide turned a little bit there, Mitch. The cue ball looked like it was heading right for the corner pocket and it got knocked out just in time, stopped it right there. She has an open shot at the 1 ball. And here is the problem. The 2 ball is nestled down by the 8 and 9 a little bit. And if she can avoid the 3 ball, clipping the 3 ball coming down, the good thing about this, all she has to do is make this 1 and come all the way across to the other side of the table. And look at this. Look at this position shot.
Just nudges
she
the 9
is
out of
formidable.
there.
I swear, she is just amazing, this woman. Win or lose, she just does not give up, and her game is so amazing.
Terrific, terrific comeback so far. The way this rack is shaping up, we may indeed have a hill-hill match to move into the semifinals. The winner of this match will meet the winner of the Melissa Herndon-Julie Kelly quarterfinal matchup.
Karen didn't look too happy there. She was trying to get the cue ball out a little bit farther this way so she could just drift over, shoot the 5 in the same pocket that she's shooting the 3. Now she's forced to play this with high, come all the way down, and she ended up with the perfect angle to be able to make the 5 ball. And with some right spin, drive the cue ball, follow it down all the way to here. As you can see, obviously in need of a lot of touch and precision here not to get snookered behind this 9 ball. Big, huge shot right here, Mitch, getting position on this 6. This is the whole rack. Oh, too far. Too far. Oh, it stopped just in time.
It's okay.
Judging for her face there, she was a little bit worried about it, but it stopped just in time. 7, obviously, right open on that rail. Get straight in on the 7 is fine. 8's right there.
And
What can she play?
What's interesting about watching this rack, Abe, is how Karen's using different parts of the pocket to play shots, to move the cue ball around the table. People at home may think that you just want to aim for the center of the pocket all the time. But that's not true, and somebody who's a seasoned veteran like Karen is doing what she has to do to give herself good shots.
Oh, she has barely a mistake here since she realized, you know, this match is not over.
I'm still here.
And I think it has a lot to do with it. She stopped being tense. Yeah, she drew a little bit. She's fine. She's fine. She scratched her head a little bit.
All the way around.
That's a little bit of a Karen Corr trademark for those of you who have been watching a lot. She scratches her head. It's usually not a good thing.
So Jennifer Barretta has to stay very calm and collected. She knows that there is only one thing that's about to happen, and that is 1 rack to move into the semifinals against Corr. This would be for 4 consecutive racks for Karen and a tie match. It may be the quarterfinals, but this is as good as it gets right here. Corr and Jennifer Barretta, someone will move on. Qtech Q's Florida Classic is brought to you by Qtech Q's, serious cues for serious players. By Brunswick Billiards, since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world. And by the American Pool Players Association, the world's largest pool league.
And there is a reason you want to win the lag at the very beginning of the match. Not only do you get to break at rack number 1, but should this match go to 13 racks as we have, you have the break. And that's where Jennifer Barretta finds herself now. A chance to break, stay at the table, and end it. She has not been able to do it. She was up 6-2 at one point, and I don't think, at the last second. Now let's see where the cue ball goes. Behind the 3.
Well, she was the one with a little bit of luck that time. The cue ball got kicked out. It looked like it was going to scratch this time. 1 ball is behind the 3 ball. No shot. She's going to have to play a safety. She can see enough to hit the 1 ball, but that doesn't necessarily she wants to go ahead and try to play the safety from here. She also could push out and use that option, but it looks like she's going to try to play a safety. Leaving the cue ball, watch it. She's going to draw it into the rail and back out again and try to play it behind the 3. Very touchy shot. Her backup is that the 1, oh wow, she hit it too thin. She better hope this hurries instead. Get in. She's begging for it to get in. Oh wow.
That right there, the last thing you wanted to have happen is to hang that 1 ball up in the pocket.
Yeah, I think that was kind of short of experience a little bit on her part. I'm surprised. She should have definitely taken her extension. She has 2 in this rack. Because it's hill, you get an extra extension.
That's
and for her not to use 1 of them, even if she only had 1, she should have taken. That was a big shot. And now look at this wide open table for Karen. And that is the last thing you want to give to somebody like her. Look at this. Karen's first mistake in what, about 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Karen has an easy out. The 2 ball she had to get, obviously she was a little bit straighter than she wanted, but she could have gotten out for the 2 ball. The rest of the table is open, and look at this. Karen is forced to play a safety. And she did pull it off. She played a really great save, but that is not what you wanted to do, Mitch. You wanted to run that table.
Jennifer's going to have to come with something here.
I think she's just thrilled to be back at the table
I
at
would
this
say.
point. And here's where it's her turn to loosen up. Now forget about the fact that you were up 6-2. Now be happy that you're even at the table. That Karen gave her a chance back, and she obviously needs to make contact here and hope to get lucky, to get a safety, to make it. It's too tough to plan anything. You just hope that good things happen. And the only thing she can hope for.
Rail.
Oh, she just got it just in time.
Good work there by Jennifer Barretta under extreme pressure.
Well, you can't get lucky if you don't hit them, and you're just as deserving to get lucky as unlucky there. So she did what she had to do. Karen has an opportunity here to play a safety, and I think she's going to think about this a little bit, using those blockers on the other side of the table. Huge shot for Karen right here. Oh wow, did she get it? Well, it's an interesting shot. I thought she would try to use these balls a little bit more, but instead, what to do if you're Jennifer Barretta? Do you try to sneak this by and make the bank in the side pocket? I doubt it. She would really have to feel a little bit desperate. I'm thinking she would look for a safety here, maybe leaving the cue ball behind the 3. Perhaps banking the 2 ball 2 rails across, getting it behind the balls that are down at the other side of the table. She's going to use it behind the 3 ball.
Such
Oh,
big shots.
beautiful.
Such big shots now.
That's the 1 shot she needed to come with right there. It's taking her a few more racks than we thought, but she came with it right there. Great shot under a lot of pressure there, Mitch.
Question is, can Karen see it on the left side of that 2?
Just enough.
Looking like she can.
And you bet she'll be sending the cue ball down here and try to get it behind the 5, 6, and the 9, anywhere down at the side of the table. Oh my God.
Oh, whoa.
She hit the 3 ball. Oh, wow.
And that is stunning.
That's the fastest I've seen Jennifer moved the whole match.
That
She
is
just
stunning.
ran out of that chair. Oh, wow.
So from a position of a terrific safety by Karen Corr, and you see it right there. To have come so far, 4 racks in a row. Here's another look, and just touches the 3 right there. Huge, huge. Because now Jennifer Barretta, instead of having a tough time, will have ball in hand with this table open. And once again, has to find a way to calm these nerves about 4 racks later than she thought she would have to.
And this is where she just has to stay in the moment, because I bet you her heart is pounding. Her arm is shaking a little bit right now. She knows she has a tough way to get to this 5. As you can see, it's in behind the 6 and the 9 a little bit. She's looking at it right now. The saving grace for her is that she has the 4 to help her do that.
So there's her first extension that Ava was talking about, the 2 she has in this rack. Uses 1. And you can see her calming herself down a little bit again. This is a player who works very, very hard on every part of the game, and that includes the mental part. She's very aware of how important it is. And we talked about it earlier, Ava. The only way you can find out how you do under pressure and learn from it is to be under pressure. There is,
exactly
you can play
right.
all the pool in a pool room you want with whoever. But until you get under the lights of TV and you have to make shots to win, that's when you find out how to do it.
Absolutely. And this is where Jennifer has a chance to experience that firsthand, prove herself. She's going to try to force the cue ball. She wanted perhaps a little bit more angle, but I think she's fine. She just needs the really clean hit on this 4. Come across for the 5. Perfect shot, and it is hers for the taking. Now, does the 6 ball pass? Yeah, the 6 ball does pass by the 9, and this match is hers now, and she just needs to make these 3 balls.
Her best finish so far on the WPBA Classic Tour, a 5th place finish in Canada earlier this year in 2004. If she were to win this match against Karen Corr, she would move into the semifinals and be guaranteed her best finish ever on the WPBA Classic Tour. And you can't be in a better position than this, Ava, to win a match.
And this is almost better for Jennifer because, oh, look out. She drew the cue ball. Oh, my goodness.
Look at her mom.
She,
look at
how
her mom.
close she got
Look
to
at that there.
That was kind of, that one went off in her hand, I think. And now she's left herself a little bit of a tricky shot. But if she can pull this 9 ball off, she has done something truly spectacular all the way around.
Yeah.
What a match.
What a match. The winner is Jennifer Barretta. Wow.
And that is one happy Rosalie Armenti and an equally happy Jennifer Barretta. It matters not sometimes how you do it, but that you do it. And it is time for our shot of the match, brought to you by Qtr Qs. Jennifer Barretta puts it away, and here she is at the table. And look at this beautiful 3-9 combination from Jennifer Barretta. We're glad you've been with us here in Florida. For Ava Lawrence, I'm Mitch Lawrence. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So long from Florida.